Issue salience is the accessibility of an implicit subconscious cognitive construct and its perceived importance. So the word salient, I like to think of as like if you have a bucket of water, then the issues like come to the top, come to the surface, right? So it makes them accessible, and it is a cognitive construct. And when those things come to the surface, that impacts the perceived importance. Implications of issue salience transfer are greater knowledge of related causes and solutions, meaning that when these issues come to surface, general public has greater knowledge of related causes and solutions. It also creates stronger attitudes about these issues, and there's less likelihood of neutrality. There's stronger likelihood of engagement. And even if you do not consume a lot of media, studies show that you will still be impacted by agenda setting through the people in your network who do consume a lot of media. And that's something called two-step flow model, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But if you think about this and what we see in media right now, you might have written down in your three most important topics, the issue of executive power and judicial power. That's something that's in the news a lot right now, where people might not have had strong opinions or attitudes about that in the past because that's not really been a topic in the news like in my lifetime. So but now that it's in the news, they have more awareness of that issue, stronger attitudes. They're not neutral probably, and they're likely going to engage, like share a story on their social media or tell their parent or their friends, etc. We talked a little bit about priming during Unit 2. Media priming is where a topic, issue, coverage increase makes topics more salient, which leads to the audience giving weight to those issues. This, you can think about an intro to a news broadcast. Like if you hear "and just in" or "breaking news," that will prime you to like perk your ears up and listen a little bit more and have stronger attitudes about those things. So professionals and media figures can engage in media priming and make certain issues more salient. For example, the media might cover the rising cost of college more, making us think about the rising cost of college more and regard the rising cost of college as an important issue. This is perceived importance of a construct. Let's imagine it's an election year, which it's not. But if you are a public relations professional, which a PR professional, they're in charge of image, a lot of and maintaining professional relationships with media and also other figures. You work for a presidential candidate named Jane Doe as a PR professional, and Jane Doe has done amazing things to decrease the rising cost of college tuition. What's your move as a public relations professional working for presidential candidate Jane Doe based on what we know about issue salience and agenda setting? If you're thinking that you would bring attention to how much Jane Doe's done for the increase in college tuition by sending out a press release to different media conglomerates, or you might start a social media campaign that talks about what all she's done, that would be correct. Good job. So issue management is where PR professionals mostly bring certain issues to public attention. you as a PR professional trying to make the rising cost of college tuition as a salient issue via media priming in order to help your candidate, Jane Doe, win the presidential election. That's the example of issue management. So some notable refinements to agenda setting, the consideration of need for orientation. So some people are going to be more impacted by certain issues than others. Other people might not care. If you are not a college student and you don't have children who are college students or siblings or whatever, then your need for orientation would be different to that message about college tuition than someone going to college. So people vary in the attention they give to the media agenda. And then the issue of obtrusiveness. Agenda setting has a stronger effect on us for issues we don't experience firsthand because we can't get educated by looking out our windows. So if you, let's see, I'm thinking about all of the global conflict right now, and we're only getting information from media sources unless you have family in those areas, like the Ukrainian and Russia conflict, war, and Gaza and Israel conflict. We're not getting firsthand experience. We're getting secondhand experience from our news sources. So the agenda setting effect is stronger for us as secondhand experiences. Okay, I'm going to pause here so you don't get viewer fatigued.